Hi, welcome. I'm Lisa Natoli, and this is day 17, and the topic for today is how is healing accomplished? So for the next few days, I want to focus on some sections from A Course in Miracles in the Teacher's Manual, and I ask for you today to read How is Healing Accomplished? And it's incredible. You just realize, I don't need this pain, I don't need this sickness, I don't need this suffering, I don't need it anymore, and you let it go. And I also included today a Skype interview that I did with a woman who took the 40-day program a year ago. And she was completely healed of a tumor. It disappeared completely. And I wanted to hear her side of the story, so I interviewed her. It's a 30-minute interview. It's totally optional. You don't need to watch it if you don't want. But she said that she made a decision to not focus on the tumor. She knew, like, okay, I'm not going to make myself guilty for having the tumor. I'm not going to try to heal the tumor. I'm going to make an unwavering commitment for these 40 days to love myself and to forgive and to let go of fear and to find my voice and to show up in life in a whole new way, in joy and gratitude. And the tumor disappeared. And, that's really what this work is. It's you move beyond the confusion, beyond the doubt. And so I've been setting it up for 2 weeks now for you to really look at your grievances, to look at the way you've been attacking yourself. And what grievances are is it's a wall. It's a wall that keeps you from seeing the light that you are. And the ego doesn't want you to look at your hatred and your hostility and your attack. But it doesn't say don't look, because if it said don't look, you would look. You would look directly at the fear. You would look at all the ways you attack yourself. And you would realize, oh my God, I'm doing this to myself. I'm literally attacking myself and holding myself in darkness. And I don't want to do that anymore. That this way of living is not serving me. It's making me sick, in fact. And I'm going through now. I'm letting the grievances go. And so it's just a wall. And what happens our entire life is we don't realize it's a cover-up. So what the ego does instead is it says, look at what that person is doing to you. And your focus goes there, to that person. Look at how they've hurt you. Look at how they're ignoring you. And then it kind of switches gears, and then it says, well, look at how you're failing. But don't worry, we'll fix it. We'll take another program, we'll read another book, we'll work harder, and we'll do better this time, and we'll get there. And so these are just attack thoughts, and you're doing it to yourself. You never realized that you were holding yourself in the darkness. And now I come along because the time is set now for you to wake up. And so somehow you found me, you found this program, you found A Course in Miracles. You're ready. You're ready now to hear this. And I'm saying, look, go there. Go to the place you swore you would never look. I want you to look at your hostility. I want you to look directly at your grievances. I want you to look at your thoughts. I want you to look at how you keep yourself in littleness and bondage. And make a decision to say, that's enough of that. I'm not going to hurt myself anymore. And you let all grievances go then. Because you see, it's just a wall. You've been trying to protect yourself from love. And without the wall, and you go through it, it's just a thin little, flimsy little veil. You thought it was a big mountain. And that's what Jesus says. He says, we will remove this mountain. And you're removing mountains now. And so what happens is when you go through the veil and you say, I'm not going to hold my brother in prison anymore, and I'm not holding myself in this dark prison anymore, because I made it and the door is open. I'm walking out into the sunlight now. You see your magnificence. You see your brilliance. You see your innocence. And the memory of God returns to you. And you're like, oh my God, I had no idea. And it comes from a direct experience. So I've been offering you words, but it's only when you make the decision to step into this place and practice that you move into this state of mind. And then you go, oh my God, I had no idea. And that's what I want for you. And so today what I would like is for you to read How is Healing Accomplished in the Teacher's Manual. And I'll put that here on the bottom of this website. And it says, healing is accomplished the instant the sufferer no longer sees any value in pain. And you acknowledge that sickness is an election. That you literally caused your own sickness. But what I said yesterday is I don't want you to make yourself feel guilty for that, because you'll never get out. You just say, okay, I caused it. With my beliefs and attack and grievances and separation, I shut myself off from my source, and I'm now getting effects in what seems like a physical world of sickness and problems. And you say, okay, I did it. I caused it. And I don't need it anymore. I don't need to hold myself in this place anymore. I'm going to live in love. I'm going to live in a whole new way. And it's a shift in perception is what it is. It's the shift I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. And what's important to see is that there is an experience where it's from your heart. So I was telling you yesterday how for almost 20 years, I kept saying every single day, I want the peace of God. I want the peace of God. I really want the peace of God. Above all else, I want the peace of God. And I didn't have it. And what I finally realized is that it was all from the ego mind still. That the ego says, okay, let's use that idea. She'll never, ever be on to us. And finally, yesterday I remember I did the math on it and I realized it was 17 years. It was from 1992 when I first found out about A Course in Miracles to summer 2009. And during that time, I had tremendous bursts of light and joy and love and happiness and laughter. And those moments would last for hours. Sometimes a whole day even. But whenever I went home by myself, I would fall back into darkness again. I would fall back into sadness. And so I could never keep that peace. It was always dependent on external things. And in summer 2009, for the first time ever, I really saw I really want it now. I'm done with conflict and I'm going to be happy now. This is what I want. And my whole life started to fall apart. It was just everything that could possibly break, broke. I went into the worst terror and panic of my life, and people were falling away. Everything electronically was breaking. I had no money, and I kept remembering, no, I'm done with conflict. And I was holding myself in that place. And very quickly, all of that passed away. And I moved out of that physical location. It was like I was being lifted and carried now because I was holding that right here. Like, no, the peace of God is what I want. And I can find that peace even in the middle of all of this chaos. And it just, those things started to fall away. And that's what I've discovered, that the place is in me. And so it's this moment of honesty and sincerity where it's not a head game that you're playing. It's not of the intellect where you say, I want to be happy. You want it with every cell in your body. And you say, this is what I want. I want happiness. I want joy. I want to know myself as love. And then you remember, I am that. How difficult could it be to find it if I am that? And I found this place, and I'm simply offering you my experience so that you can have your own experience. So I ask for you today to read How is Healing Accomplished? And it's just a decision of the mind. You decide on the outcome that you want. And what you can do is just take an index card or your journal or piece of paper and just write down on it just what your sickness or pain or problem is, and in that quiet space just see, okay, are you done with these things? Are you done with them? Because that's what healing is. You say, there's no gain at all to me in any of this. I don't need to hold on to this. I don't need to hold on to being a victim anymore. And oftentimes a sickness is a way of life. And so it can sometimes feel difficult to let go of because it's so wrapped up in your identity that moving into a new space is even more fearful than healing. And that's okay too. But just to know that when you're ready and you say, okay, I'm breaking out of my shell now. I don't need to be sick anymore. I don't need to be in bed lying as a tired, sick person anymore. I decide on the outcome. I am spirit. And there's nothing limiting spirit. And I want you to just take some time today in the quiet to really decide on the outcome that you want. What do you want? And, yesterday I was telling you, I said I want the peace of God. And I was looking around and seeing just depression and sadness. And what A Course in Miracles says is how to know what you really want, how to know what you ask for, look around. That's what you really want. If you're not experiencing happiness, you don't want it. If you're experiencing sadness, that's what you want. And you finally go, oh my God, wow, okay, I don't want that anymore. I've been getting this effect. It's my secret desire to stay in conflict and have problems and be a victim. And you come to a moment when you just get tired of that. You don't want it. And you say, okay, I'm done with that. And you let that go and you begin to hold yourself in this, to me it's a vibration, it's a state of mind. I am what happiness is. God is with me, I'm not alone. There's nothing to fear. And there really is nothing to fear. You see it, you step into it and you suddenly see, oh, what was I so afraid of? And you begin to feel your light. You feel it. You know it. You know your innocence. And lots of you are crying, getting these letters. And don't judge yourself for crying. This one woman, she said, I'm crying my way to God. And is this ego? Don't judge it. Just allow yourself to go through whatever you're going through. And don't name it. If you feel grief, watch how we name it. We name it bad. It's just energy. Just let it be what it is. Let yourself be with it. And watch how quickly it passes. Everything's love. There's no good or bad. Or good or bad, up and down, left and right, only exists in the world of darkness and the fear-based thought system. But on this side, there's only love. Everything's love. Whatever is happening for you, perfect. It's all good. So how is healing accomplished? It's accomplished the instant that you decide that it's time now. It's time for me to be as God created me, to be the light that I am. And I thank you for being here with me. Enjoy Wendy Johnson's Skype interview with me. I put the audio transcript on there. Again, it's totally optional. You don't need to watch it if you don't want to, but it's there for you. And I thank you for being here with me. I love you. And it's an honor. It's an honor to serve and to walk this path with you. Thank you.